Part 2, action. All right. So those have got through the first 5 questions. All right. There will be one where it says factor and graph, and the factor will look like this. X cubed minus 27, and then maybe I'll have an x plus 5 here. And exactly on the question, right at it, is the formula given to you. It is given to you right at the exact question. You don't even need to look around. You don't need to look around any of the test. It's right there on that question. It's right there on that question. All right. The x plus 5 can just wait around a while. X times x times x. Wherever you see an a, you're going to put an x. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Wherever you see a b, you're going to put a 3. So it factors to x a minus b, x minus 3. Then the formula a squared becomes x squared plus a times b plus x times 3. We write it as 3x plus b squared. 3 squared is 9. And now I write the x plus 5. I know this is hard. For the 10th time, between the 10th and 40th time, this part can't factor anymore. When you've done this fancy formula, this part can't factor anymore. Don't waste your time. It can't. It can't. It's an imaginary number. It's an imaginary number. It can't. It does not show up on the graph. It's imaginary. Just imagine out there. Okay. So negative 3 becomes a positive 3. Opposite becomes negative 5. Our degree is 3 and 1, it's 4, or you could say 1 and 2, 1. Degree is 4, it goes up and up. It zips through, it zips through. The imaginary does not show up, so it zips through and zips through. I have seen some descriptions saying this, the imaginary shows up, but it's out here somewhere, like in the next dimension. Don't worry about it, it doesn't show up. All right. In my time planning, if you know what you're doing, that's less than 5 minutes, okay? This is my time planning for you. That's less than 5 minutes. All right. So I'm at 25 minutes as far as my planning. All right, and then comes the following. There will be something where it will say exactly 2 of these factor by synthetic division. And the first one says, find them both, and you don't need a graph. That's what the first one says. First one says, find both, don't need a graph. So I don't have an example problem made up here, but it would say something like x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd minus 2x squared minus 7x plus 1. And the ones that might work are x plus 1, or x plus 2, or x plus 3, or x plus 4. Now, I don't even know if any of these works. I'm sorry about that. Okay, now, the amount of time this takes depends on how lucky you get on your first guess. All right? But what you do is you guess, maybe you're going to guess 1. Do you put 1 in the box? No, you put negative 1. And you put 1, 3, negative 2, negative 7, 1. And then drop it, times it. add it, times it, add it, times it, add it, times it, add it. If this comes out as 0, your answer is yes. If this comes out other than 0, your answer is no, so I will just pretend like this one came out as a 0. So I would circle that, and eventually I would put that in the answer blank. I would then try 2, 3, and 4. I will tell you exactly, this one I'm looking right at the test, it says 2 of these work. So 2 will work, 2 will work. No need to graph. Now that one could take 5 to 8 minutes depending on how lucky you get on your guesses. How lucky you get on your guesses. All right. One, two, three, four. Some kid already stole part of the test. Good job, kid. 5, 6, 7. What happened to 8? 7, 8, 9. Isn't that some joke that I don't tell? 5, 6, 7. Ah, and here we go. Then there will be one that says the following. It will say exactly 2 of these factor twice. Find them, then graph. Okay? And there will be possibilities of x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3. And the directions, I'm reading the directions exactly. 2 of these factor twice. Fully factor by many synthetic divisions, rewrite the factored, then graph. So, if you find out that 2 works, then what should you try again? You should try 2 again, because if 2 works, it's going to work twice. So then you do 2 again. Please remember the following thing. I'm just going to make up silly numbers. And let's say the answer came up. When you do it again, you do it with the lesser answer. Say, yup. Yup, you do it with the lesser answer, because that makes it easier. All right? And then let's just pretend this one works. I don't have this worked out. And 1, 4, 6. And then you could try the next one, like -1, with the lesser answer. You keep doing the lesser ones. Shake your head, you understand what I mean. Shake your head. If not, I'll be glad to help you individually. Excellent. Now, this one could take you, 10 minutes, depending on your good luck and your bad luck, et cetera, et cetera. So if I am re-adding up the numbers I've said, and I don't, I'm at 30, 35 minutes, if you know what you're doing. And then 2 more, then 2 more. Expand. All right. You have no choice. Think of this person as your absolute most patient friend. Your most patient friend. They are simply going to wait for you for a long time. I'll wait till you're done. I'll wait till you're done. We're going to FOIL this one first. And I'm actually going to do it carefully. Outside. And I didn't do it carefully. 3 times 11. Inside. And last. Your patient friend says, I'll wait. I'm going to go up higher so people in back can see. Oftentimes the middle 2 combine. And now finally and carefully, your patient friend, am I running out of time? No, your patient friend will multiply the first times the first, 27x cubed. Now the first one times the one at the end, plus 99x squared y. Now your middle one, 66 times 3 is, I don't know, 180, 198? Somebody who's good at arithmetic. X to the second y. And 66 times 11, that must be 660, 70, 80, 90, 700, 710, 720, 726 maybe? I'll edit that out if I'm wrong. 726 xy squared. If I did the multiplication wrong, just pretend like I didn't. 121 times 3 is 363 xy squared. And this is in fact 1331y cubed. This one could take 3-4 minutes, and then a lot of you will double check for 3-4 minutes more. And finally, we combine like terms, and carefully, x squared y's can go with other x squared y's. So that's 297 if I am doing this correctly. xy squareds can go to other xy squareds. That looks like 1089. You can use a calculator. And finally, there will be one, and I want to make this clear when I started the review. I made it clear when I started the review. On the one that says graph, there will not be one that says factor like this, but there will be one not on the graph that will just say factor. It will just say factor, and you go square minus square. 2x, 2x. And 3 and 3, and I don't know if I have time on here.
That's in the ending?
That's the ending. That's all we're going to have to do. That's all I will have you do on that. All right, just so I show you something. If you have to do this, multiplies to be negative 36, adds to be, there's nothing, adds to be 0, well that becomes 6 and negative 6. And you can go through this whole process. But it would be why go through this process, but you will see it works. You can bring out a 2x, leaving an x plus 3. You can bring out a minus 3, which leaves a, there's a 2x, and it actually becomes 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. But don't do it. Don't do it. Just go to that. So doing my math, and for student math, for how long it takes you as students, that comes out less than 55 minutes. You have 80 minutes. You have 80 minutes. You have 80 minutes. Those that want to start early, if you want to come in to win and start early, you may start different questions than are on the test, but the same kind and the same difficulty. You may do the expand one I just did, the long one. You may do the factor one early. You may do one of the synthetic division ones early and one of the graph ones early. So that's if people want even more than 80 minutes.